They are celebrating the grand theft. On September 28, the Russian president brought to Moscow the puppet governors of 4 occupied Ukrainian regions to sign the Treaty of Annexation. And now, we have Elon Musk stepping in as a peace broker. His plan? Redo elections of annexed regions under UN supervision. Russia leaves if that is the will of the people. Musk's proposal raises questions. Can you really expect any free vote when you have tanks in the backyard and are made to vote at a gunpoint?
That the territory of a state shall not be the object of acquisition by another state, resulting from the threat or use of force.
Only 0.5% of Zaporizhia region residents took part in the sham referendum of the occupiers.
The referendum in the southern east took place amid the mass exodus.
Another family who voted by leaving.
Over the last 6 months, 500,000 Ukrainians have fled from Kherson region alone, and they keep fleeing.
They are proposing to pay in Ukrainian lives for the illusion of peace.
Sham referendums that are an attempt to arbitrarily redraw the map.
Choosing not to end the war, but to expand it.
Back in 2014, Moscow staged the same sham vote in Crimea.
Referendum on the future of Crimea would violate the Ukrainian constitution.
With occupied Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, and Kherson regions, Russia's land grab is another 15% of Ukraine, the size of the U.S. state of Indiana.
Well, he also said that all the citizens in those regions now would be Russian citizens forever.
Russia got the land bridge to Crimea, and now is targeting Ukrainian-rich resources. The country's southeast has one of the world's largest reserves of titanium, iron ore, and fields of untapped lithium. The thing is used in Elon Musk's Tesla cars.
You like the car?
The estimates show Russia now controls more than 12.4 trillion USD worth of Ukrainian resources. Moscow also seized Zaporizhia nuclear power plant.
Europe's largest nuclear power plant is on fire.
And it can have dire implications for energy security in Europe. Before the war, it produced 20% of Ukraine's electricity and nearly half of its nuclear energy. Additionally, the plant exported power to Eastern Europe. And now, Russia can get another blackmail tool, much like gas.
Ukraine urgently needs the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, or it will not be able to fulfill its electricity export obligations.
Kherson and Zaporizhia have fertile soils that help feed millions worldwide.
Russian forces stealing thousands of tons of Ukrainian grain.
By seizing them, the Kremlin has disrupted Ukraine's grains production and exports, and that can leave people in Africa and Asia starving. Another blow is seizure of the Black Sea ports.
Ukraine can still trade by land, but there's no comparison between what you can get through on land as opposed to the tonnages you can get by sea.
Berdyansk and Kherson are among the key gateways helping to handle 2/3 of the country's exports.
Russian missiles unleashed on the Ukrainian port city of Odessa.
If he takes Odessa, the whole Black Sea coast would be in Russian hands.
Russia is eyeing Ukraine's gem, Askania Nova, the biggest steppe sanctuary in Europe. One more thing to consider. Moscow sees eastern Ukraine as a pool of human reserves that can be drafted in the army and sent for new invasions beyond Ukraine. The plan Russia is surely plotting now.
Nuclear-capable Russian submarine said to carry a one-of-its-kind nuclear device has left its base.
NATO officials are worried Russia could be testing out a torpedo.
Now, is it actually about the people's free will? Any other plans?
I did challenge Vladimir Putin to one-on-one single combat.
Which Elon Musk do you like more? Meanwhile, Ukraine will keep kicking the invaders out of its lands.